From the CAL FIRE Information Center, I'm Scott McLean with the CAL FIRE report for Tuesday, July 24th, 2018. It was another week of high heat and dry conditions in much of California, as you can tell, which led to another very busy week for fire activity. This summer has been extremely challenging so far to date, as we've seen week after week of fire-prone weather. And unfortunately, we're not out of the woods yet. Another week of dangerous fire conditions is coming up, latter part of this week into next week. But before we can get into that, let's take a look at our fire stats so far this year. As you can see, out of the roughly 330 fires last week alone, wildfire land fires, 184 were in CAL FIRE's jurisdiction. You can see we're still above last year's stats here as far as the amount of fires to date. 216,000 acres burned last year to date. However, the stat we have here, we still have not recorded the Pawnee, the county, and the Klamathon fires, which would bring this total up to about 230,000 acres. So we're still ahead of last year on all stats. As you can see on our fire map, we're about 16 large wildfires actively burning across California. Again, you're looking at the Mexican border, all the way up to the Oregon border and into Oregon. And we've also been into Nevada this last week as well. Let's zoom into the Mariposa County first, where firefighters continue to battle the Ferguson fire near El Portal. The Ferguson fire is burning in extremely steep and rugged terrain with little or no access to roads, making the firefighting difficult and requiring heavy aircraft support when we can get those aircraft in there due to the smoke conditions. While the Ferguson fire has led to several areas being evacuated, no homes have been damaged or destroyed. The fire is currently at 36,587 acres and it is 25% contained, so the containment has been rising. Next, we'll move on to Shasta County, where firefighters are now battling the CARR fire just off of Highway 299 outside of Whiskeytown. The CARR fire started yesterday afternoon and very quickly grew to 2,500 acres just in a matter of a couple hours due to the parched vegetation in the area causing evacuations of nearby communities. As of this morning, the acreage on that particular fire is just over 3,100 acres and it is up to 15% contained. Still a lot of work to go. And in Santa Clara County, the Country fire sparked on Sunday afternoon east of Milpitas. While the fire started in grass, it quickly moved into heavier brush in a very steep drainage. But thanks to the fast initial attack by firefighters, as well as some favorable weather conditions in the nighttime hours, firefighters were able to quickly get a handle on the Country fire and today have it at 90% contained, burning a total of 320 acres. And finally, some very good news on the destructive Klamathon fire up in Siskiyou County that started back on July 5th. As of Saturday, this last Saturday, the Klamathon fire reached 100% containment and just burned just over 38,000 acres. And as I mentioned earlier, we have another week of fire-prone weather on the way, starting with thunderstorms in several areas in Northern California, which actually began yesterday and are expected to continue out this evening. And as the week goes on, we'll continue to see the hot, dry conditions we've been seeing for weeks now, particularly in Southern California, where many areas are expected to see near or even record high temperatures through Friday, along with very low humidities. Now, that is in combination with strong predicted 15 to 30 mile per hour north winds to go throughout that week. Those north winds, the low humidities, have led to a red flag warning in the Santa Barbara County through Thursday. We asked all of you to please be careful outdoors this week when you're out. Be cognizant of your surroundings, pay attention to what's taking place, and take extra precautions to avoid sparking new fires. Camping, taking your boat, make sure you walk around your vehicles as I said before, making sure that there's nothing hanging, chains for an example, and that your vehicles and trailers are very well maintained, especially right now. Yesterday, CAL FIRE celebrated the life of heavy fire equipment operator Braden Vardy in a ceremony in Modesto. Braden was killed on July 14th while battling the Ferguson fire in Mariposa County. We wanted to end today's broadcast with a short piece from yesterday's ceremony as we said goodbye to a member of our CAL FIRE family. Thank you.
It's a day that changed everything for the Varney family and for CAL FIRE.
I want the family to know how wonderful I think you all are. And you're not alone. Everybody in this room has a Braden-sized hole in their heart right now.
I ask you to remember him by being a good person and caring for one another.
Losing Braden is a gut punch like no other. It hurts to your very soul. We'd not only lost a firefighter, we'd lost a brother and a friend.
So Braden, farewell for now. Everything you were is eternally inscribed upon every fiber of my being, for every day, every minute, every second of the rest of my life.